The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Optavia team.
All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Watching everybody pour in here. We will get started in just a moment. Checking the attendees here. All right, as everyone's tuning in before we officially kick off, this is my favorite part of the week. Fill me in. Where's everyone tuning in from this week? I'm from the sunny and very warm Washington State, Northwest. Let's see here. I'm going to open up the chat. See, Florida, Iowa, Texas, Oregon in the house. That's where I grew up. San Diego, Arizona, Washington, Connecticut, Vancouver, Oregon, Milwaukee, Utah, St. Louis, Idaho, Louisiana. Okay, I'm trying to keep up. Okay, cool. The cool thing is we're all over the place here, so this is awesome. All right, we're going to get started here in just a moment as everyone's still tuning in. All right. Another quick question as we kick off this week. Every week is about making a different step in our health. For you guys, it's about what we're focusing on, what habits we're building. So open up that chat. I'm going to ask a lot of chat questions tonight. In one sentence or one word or less, just keeping it simple, what's one thing you did this week to move your health forward? And I love opening it in the chat because we all learn different things. You might share something in there. Then, sorry, someone said my video was off. Is my video off? I think my video is on. Anyways, it should be good. I think I'm good. Angie would let me know if I'm off. So started 5-1, cooked more. Anyway, so what I was saying is you'll learn something from other people on here. But what's cool is everyone does something better each week as we consciously make a decision for health. So I want to know, let me see here. Angie, so some people are saying that my video is off. Is my video off?
Brad, I see you just fine. So I'm not sure why they can't see you, but I see you on my recorded version, no problem.
A lot of people are saying video off, black screen.
Yeah, everybody says, try turning your video on and back off, Brad, and see what happens. Maybe that'll help.
Let's do it.
Because I see you.
All right, everyone in the chat, let me know. Am I doing better now? Can you see me?
Can everybody? Yeah, they can see you, and I can too. Awesome.
All right, cool. All right. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. And, it's probably my bad. I come from a long line of people with bad technical difficulties. It's just in our blood. We mess up electronics. So, but I don't want to miss from what we talked about. There was so many cool things in the chat. Like I heard, started exercise, stayed consistent, made my meals at home, started plan. I mean, so many cool things. What's awesome is every single week is a chance to focus on what habits of health that we're moving forward. That's why this is the Habits of Health call. This is why it's called the Habits of Health book. There's habits every single week that we build that helps us move forward in our health. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Brad Miller. I'm a certified health coach. I'm excited to be hosting tonight's call. Tonight's topic is all about sleep. And don't go to sleep on me because you guys will see this might be one of the coolest topics that we cover tonight. So I want to hear out there in the chat who's excited about the topic of sleep or who here has improved their sleep since getting started on this plan. I want to just hear any takeaways you have on that. This call, we do it every single Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes to focus on a topic of health that moves our health forward. This is for everyone. Doctors, for physicians, lay people, coaches, clients, people just looking to expand their horizon of health. This is one of our support tools and part of our community that helps people move forward. And the more you tune in, here's another tip of Habits of Health. The more you tune in, the more you move forward in your health. And you always gain something from being on there. So I'm just looking over here. Love sleep. Sleep is better. since I started program. Sleep, oh, man, it's not doing so well, but I still need to improve. Okay, cool. I love it. I can't go back and read all of them in here, but got a lot of feedback on the topic of sleep. And so just as also a heads up tonight, keep that chat nice and handy. I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and I'm going to try to get to all of your questions that come up as possible. But just like I talked about, it's about the habits of health. And habits are something you don't just decide you're going to make a habit one day. You build habits over time. So tonight, as we share different things, I want to just go over, like, just make these practices. I'm a lot better at sleep now. I honestly thought sleep was something like, if you know, like I was in the military, I was told sleep's something you get when you're dead. That's literally what it is. And for those of you that are working or young parents, like my 2-year-old's running around right there. He's looking at me in the window. But if you're a young parent or just working, generally we start to think, wow, sleep's something that's a luxury, not a necessity. And it's so important to build habits on this, not just in quality, or not just in quantity, but in quality. I'm gonna get more of this as I go in here. So, but I want to start off to ask you guys some questions, get the brain going in here. So just like to give you guys some ideas of this. I'm gonna change my screen here so I can see a little better. Is studies have shown, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Go ahead and open up the chat. I want you guys to answer this. So studies have shown that getting less than 6 hours of sleep can increase our risk of viral infection by how much? All right, screen here. Is it A, 5%, 20%, 80%, or 50%? You can answer the letter or the percentage. Okay, I'm getting answers all over the place. All right, the cool thing is, all right, so the answer is 50%. So what's interesting is we think of sleep as this thing that we put on hold or that's not a necessity, and we kind of actually push it off to the side, but it actually could be one of the things that affects your health journey most and your health long term. So it's 50% just alone by getting less than 6 hours of sleep. It can increase your viral infection. So as I'm just kind of getting your guys' brains going around this, I'm going to give you guys some tips tonight on how you can improve this, how to approach it, why it's important, and all the above. But, you know, what I view sleep as, it's really the glue that holds your health journey all together. There's so many things we're doing on our health journey. Like many of you guys have hit your health goals. Many of you guys are focusing on losing weight. Sometimes you guys are focusing on better energy, increasing all the habits of health Dr. Ray talks about. But the thing that can throw you off the most that you might not actually be aware of, the thing that might be the core piece of every downfall that really maybe have held up any of your weeks is actually sleep. So that's why I call it the glue. You ever had a day where you're massively hungry and you just really don't know why? Chances are it could have been sleep. If you've been stalling a little bit on the scale, I mean, there's lots of other reasons, but chances could be that it's sleep. If, there's just so many things that play into the role of this. I'm going to go into it a little bit later, but just some information about sleep. Quality and quantity is so key. So on average, this is just straight out of the Habits to Health book, 7 to 8 hours is needed for men for their sleep, and women need a good average solid of 6 to 7. So that's time-wise. I'm not exactly talking only quality-wise, but quantity is not as important as the quality of sleep, or it's just as important. So one thing that's kind of cool, and I really learned this because when I started on my plan, I lost 30 pounds over 8 years ago. And I started actually paying attention to how my body felt. It was a really weird feeling because I just always been so ignorant to wow, I should actually take care of my body. So I started noticing things. The first time I actually noticed that different things that I did made me feel different ways. And I remember one of the first things I noticed was that I felt better and I was sleeping better. So actually here I see that in chat. Why do women need less sleep? I don't know. It's just in the Habits of Health on that. And it's just, this is on a consensus study where bodies are programmed. I'm not really sure, but just so you can kind of get a roundabout number is how much we actually really need. So you can plan for it. Because again, Habits of Health, if you plan it, you can build around that. So, so again, I was going back to the quality is just as important as the quantity. So if anyone here has ever felt this way, maybe you've slept 7, 8, 9 hours and you woke up and you just were more tired or you didn't feel rested any more than when you were getting less sleep, it's probably because your quality of sleep is not as good. So when we sleep, if we're well taken care of, if we don't have stimulants, if we're getting into basically a deep, what we call REM cycle, your body's gonna feel more rested. So when you go into sleep, your body goes into REM cycles, R-E-M. And what that means is rapid eye movement. So basically, there are 6 major stages of sleep. And if you watch it, it's actually pretty cool. If you actually watch a video of like the sleep cycles, it's as you go in and out of deep levels of sleep. And so if you're focusing on these things, you'll be able to increase your quality. But it basically is the time when your body will rest, regenerate, you will get quality restorative sleep. And so basically, long story short, there's 6 stages of it, and as long as you're setting yourself up for quality sleep, your body will go in and out of these stages throughout the night. The most deepest sleep, called rapid eye movement sleep, where your body's the deepest, it's actually a state of your body where you're getting the deepest rest and the most restorative sleep. So it's just kind of the way the body goes through sleep. But it's when the quality of your body or the quality of your sleep affects how well you're doing overall. So I'm trying to also keep up with the chat as I'm talking here. God knew we would get less sleep when we have children. Let's see here, kids go back to school. I can start to take a nap when I'm tired. I'll get to that too. It's actually not always beneficial to take a nap, but yes, small little naps in there can be good. I believe this is mental. Anyways, I'm just making sure I'm being mindful of the chat here. So based on a study from New England's Warwick School of Medicine, getting less sleep increased the rate of obesity by what percentage? So over a long-term study, they did a study that said, okay, not getting enough sleep or getting subpar sleep or not enough quality sleep, it increased your rate of obesity by what percent? So here's the answers. Go ahead and type it in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. Let's get the brains going. There's no wrong answer here. So a lot of D's, okay, 30, 50, 10, all over the place, okay. Angie, what do you think? I think we should start giving away prizes for people that do the right answers on this. I think, so we're getting good answers all across the board. But it gets you thinking. If you're like me, this stuff gets you thinking because you're like, wow, I would have never thought about that stuff. And it actually does affect the way the body works and the way my health journey works. So the answer to this question is actually, it's A. It's 50%. And that is a staggering amount. Think about that. Just something as little as sleep that we push off to the side could actually affect the rate of our percentage of obesity by 50%. Like that increases that odds. And I'll explain a little bit more to this why. This will make more sense as I kind of go on here. But this is crazy that something that in our society, like in an American society, we all know we treat sleep as a luxury that we don't have time for. Only losers sleep. But honestly, if you're not sleeping properly, you might fall behind the pack just because you're not able to have your body be set up as well. I'm definitely focusing on your health. You know how well you feel when you're on top of your health game? Well, sleep is the foundation that your health journey is set on. So these are just some things that I wanted to go over tonight. I'm just loving the chat, by the way. I'm loving everyone talking about how they're taking this away or how sleep's affected them or how they're working on this. So these are just some chemicals regulated by sleep and why it's so important. So these are some cool things. So ghrelin, if you're not getting quality sleep, your body's hormone, ghrelin is the body that produces, or that is the body's hormone that, I'm gonna try to move my screen here, that increases appetite. So when you're not getting enough sleep, your body produces more of it. Have any of you ever just got a really bad night's of sleep? Or for those that are in the Northwest right now, it is really hot and there's not a lot of quality sleep happening. Have you felt more hungry? Have you felt more stressed? Have you woke up and had more urges for things recently that you may have not really been thinking about? I'm seeing some yeses on the chat here. What's cool is when you know this information, you can know how to handle it. I woke up we're expecting our next child. We have a toddler. Sleep is not always something, no matter how well able to have it, is going really well. And sometimes I wake up and just out of the norm, I just want things that I'm not normally used to wanting. And I can go back and I can be like, okay, not quality sleep. That's not really what I want. It's my body reacting to something. So it's cool to actually know why things happen. Another thing that happens is leptin. That's a substance that tells your body to stop eating, when you've had enough. So if you're not sleeping enough or not getting good quality sleep, your body doesn't produce enough of that. So you can think about that playing out, is that if your body doesn't know how to tell yourself that you're full, and we all have probably heard that it takes 10 minutes for your body, your stomach to tell your brain that you're full, and how that all works. Well, think about if you're reducing the ability for your body to understand that it's full, and kind of how that plays out over time. So that's just something to think about. So when you're not getting quality sleep, if you're not sitting up time, you're making your life harder on your health journey, and all those things add up. So just some other chemicals, cortisol, hormone that helps regulate body sugars and fats. So that's that's just like stress, basically when your body being stressed from not getting enough sleep, cortisol comes into play. And then again, your body's not able to regulate sugars and fats as effectively. And then dopamine and serotonin, which you guys haven't really learned a lot about this stuff. Dive into the habits health. It's so cool how our bodies work. But dopamine and serotonin, two chemicals that bring overall, it's the chemicals that bring on comfort, satisfaction, overall happiness. So if you're not sleeping well, you're not going to be able to produce the proper regulation of these things. And these are all vitally important to how our body operates. Has anyone ever just been grumpy just because you haven't got a good night to sleep? Has that affected how you did things? Did you ever notice that your brain wasn't functioning? Let alone we're focusing on building habits every day and making good choices. If you're making your brain not at its full effect, you're not going to be able to use your brain to make the good decisions, let alone fight the chemicals that are out of balance in your body. So I think you guys are getting what I'm talking about, why I think it's the glue that holds it all together. Plus, if there's really no other reason besides, how good does it just feel to wake up from a good night's rest? It just feels amazing. And once you start sleeping well, you can't, you crave it, just like anything, just like your health journey. So my encouragement this week would be, if you haven't started this area of your health journey, what are you going to do to start doing that? I have some tips for you. Let's see, I'm just trying to keep up with the chat here too. It feels amazing to wake up rested. Let's see here. I'm never grumpy. LOL, Stacy. Yeah, you're probably getting good sleep if you're never grumpy. But anyways, in short, when you get quality sleep, it's when your body does its regenerating. It's when your body gets back to normal. And again, you can obviously see how, not only by not being able to stay on point on your eating plan, but also just your body being able to regenerate. This is going to affect your ability to maintain weight or even lose weight. That's why sleep's so important, because it plays a big role in your body on that. And so if you understand how all this works, you can see how it plays out over time in your body. One bad night's sleep could actually be the thing that trips you up for a week or 2 weeks if you're not careful. And maybe that's even happened to you. But it's just cool to kind of think about in that case. So with that being said, I think I provided enough information on why it's really important to focus on this. Here's some tips. And these are the things that I really started paying attention to. Is one, no-brainer. When you take care of your body, when you're hydrating, when you're fueling well, definitely when you're in the fat burning state, you're going to feel better, and you're going to have your body be in a better state to be able to accommodate better sleep. So when you feel better and you're taking care of your body, that's when it's going to be operating at its max. We all know how great it feels when we take care of our body. So here are some sleep tips on how you can really take advantage of helping improve sleep. I'm just, sorry for getting distracted. I'm just making, this chat's blowing up. Apparently you guys aren't bored by this topic. So here are some tips that you can start right now if you're not already experiencing good quality sleep. Is one, when you wake up, get out of bed. Try not to push the snooze alarm. Wake up. If you're taking care of your sleep, you should wake up feeling more fully rested and be able to jump out of bed. But that's the tip. Practice this. Wake up, get out of bed. It's very easy to grab that phone and scroll and maybe push snooze or whatever. But get out of bed. Just practice that habit. As soon as that alarm rolls off, boom, get out of that bed. Limit caffeine. This is one of the first things I learned from Dr. Caffeine has a half-life that lasts hours beyond the effects you feel of it personally. So it's really good to not drink caffeine in later hours of the day, because that caffeine that has the half-life that's still affecting your brain and your ability to rest you could not be wired, but it could be affecting your ability to effectively fall asleep and get into deep levels of sleep. So it's not good to drink caffeine, definitely close to bedtime. Eat healthy. I already talked about that. When you're eating, we all know what it feels like to fuel healthy and to feel healthy. And so when we're taking care of our body, we're going to be more likely to be able to improve our sleep, because we're not going to have spikes in blood sugar, or we're not going to have issues with any of those things. We're going to be regulated. We're not going to be fighting any uphill battles as far as setting ourselves up for sleep. Say no to naps. Someone mentioned that in the chat. So Dr. A talked about if you do take naps, quick 5-10 minute cat naps, but if you're resting effectively throughout the night, you shouldn't need naps throughout the day. Again, I know I'm talking to maybe some young parents here or different scenarios of life. It's just a suggestion because if you take a good sized nap during the day, it can affect how you sleep at night. And again, that's just a cycle you're getting yourself into. If you focus on building healthy sleep habits, ideally you won't need naps during the day. And if so, short little cat naps are in there. By the way, this is all out of chapter 17, Habits of Health. Like you can see, like this is my real Habits of Health. It's highlight. I love this chapter. It's so awesome. Decreased stimulation. Who here, and again, this is all stuff that you're like, holy cow, like I'm a repeat offender on all this stuff. Who here watches TV right up until bedtime? Who here maybe scrolls on their phone for like 15, 20, maybe an hour up to bedtime? Like who is like just any kind of stimulation type things. It affects how your brain operates and your ability for your brain to rest and get into effective sleep. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all these things, just pick one this week to start with. It's all going to improve, and it takes habits. It's taken me a lot of time to not like focus on my phone right before bed, to build a bedtime routine. And now it doesn't even seem like it's hard anymore. It's just what I do. So decrease stimulation. Eliminate phone use, minimize liquids. That's a no-brainer. If you're waking up in the middle of the night to, go to the bathroom, that means you're waking up. It's affecting your sleep. That's a no-brainer. I talked to my toddler about that, so like that's a no-brainer how that one works. I think we put that one together. Avoid exercise within 2-hour bed. Again, stimulating. Like I was a repeat offender of this. I would do my workouts before bed, and I was wondering why I wasn't seeing as good results on my workouts and my healthy routine and all those things. Plus, it just stimulates your body. Just other tips: use an eye mask. So nerdy, but so awesome. I so made fun of my wife when she started using it, and then I tried it, and then I was like, dang it, I have to eat my words on this, because like it does help out, because you want to have a good dark environment for your sleep so you don't have light stimulating or waking you up. So an eye mask, super cool. Susan LaBelle, if you're on or watching the recording, you know what I'm talking about. And then lastly, this is kind of cool too for those people that like to decorate. A restful environment for your room. Cool colors, not stimulating, cool, relaxing, comfortable. I mean, so many people, like you walk into their bedrooms and it's not a relaxing environment. So making it a restful environment for you to be able to achieve good sleep. Let me see here. I'm getting a lot of questions about melatonin. What's cool is I'm gonna give some resources on this. Melatonin can assist with sleep, but here's the deal. Email nutrition support. We have an amazing nutrition support tool that is that helps give you references on stuff. If you want to know about melatonin or anything that we go over in these calls, use that resource and talk with your health coach. But that's a great question. I'm so glad you asked that. So again, just environment of sleep. Help yourself be able to get into a really relaxing and non-stimulating environment. Your bedroom should be a place where you go to relax, shut off, and that fills your cup with rest and gives you the ability to relax and to get into these sleep habits. Not just how comfy it is, but how's the environment. So long story short with all of this, I think it looks like everyone's kind of getting, this sounds fabulous, by the way. Lavender essential oils and relaxing a bedtime routine? I might have to try that. That sounds fabulous. Let's see here. Read sleep. Let's see here. Read. Okay, so lots of good stuff. I love it when the chat blows up. There's such a wealth of knowledge in the chat. It's so incredible. So here's some last things that I would really share with you. Habits. Habits are everything. So what I've done over time is I've built a bedtime routine. I have a time where I want to make sure I go to bed by, and we start calming down our routine. Like we start shutting down lights, start letting our bodies know it's ready for time for rest. Like whether you have a book that you read or, whatever the case may be, whether it's a bath. Like I think I saw Bill Ritchie. I think you said you take a bubble bath at night, Bill Ritchie. That's awesome that you do that. I'm just joking. He didn't say that, but I like to call him out sometimes on the calls. Whatever calms you down, that gets you into a routine, so that not only that routine calms you down, but you're also letting your body know that it's time to get into restful sleep mode. These are going to increase all these things. And as you saw, the better you can practice this, the better your life will be and the better results you will see and the less uphill battle you'll fight with your journey on your habit journey. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. It's a pretty simple and easy topic, but hopefully this has been helpful for you. I love the tips in the chat. Feel free to scroll through there and just get some ideas from people. But here's the deal. Here's where the rubber meets the road. Chapter 17 of The Habits of Health. Incredible, incredible chapter. And I think from tonight you can see how it all kind of plays a part in this routine. Just start, just like how I started this call. One habit that you're moving forward this week. If this is something that you've never thought about, or maybe you're just saying, oh man, I've never really given much effort to this, give it some effort this week. Maybe set a bedtime. Maybe start a new bedtime routine. Maybe even start just writing down what you want to start doing, or just start paying attention to your sleep habits and how it affects you. So this is Brad Miller signing off, saying get some healthy sleep. We will not be having a trilogy call after this call. That will resume next week. But I just want to encourage all of you guys, stay connected to this community, stay connected to your health coach, and maybe dialogue with them this week about what's going well with your sleep and how is it affecting your routine. Building habits daily. That's what it's all about. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for all the tips in the chat. You guys have a great week.
The following audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Optavia team.